Welcome to Joe Jackin with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. I am your host, B.O.B. Bob, but I will go by the name of Robert Lee or Jr. if you insist on being formal. And as always, from the south side of Chicago, Illinois, give it up for my main man, Mark Teese. TC, what's up?
What up,
TC,
Bob?
what's up, man?
What up, Shimmy? What up, C? Appreciate y'all watching.
Man? No happy Rainbow Day for you, huh?
Man, I don't know Rainbow Pride Day. You know, crazy.
Good. What's up, man? I miss you, man.
Man, I missed all this. Good job, Wanda. Filling in and stuff. You know, you handle your business.
Well, real quick, the call-in number is 708-223-8953. Again, the call-in number is 708-223-8953. TC, I want you to plug your club real quick.
Yeah, check out Old 30 Lounge. Out there in Linwood, 190-75, 190-55, I'm sorry, South Torrance. Come check it out, it'll be cracking. Same old thing. Happy belated birthday to my cousin Chucky, though. We didn't do the show last week and all that, but he had a nice little party out there. And check out his new lounge out in Dalton, too, y'all. Check him out, called the New Sandpipers. Nice little spot.
New Sandpipers.
Yeah.
Bring your old alligator shoes. Right. Your alligator shoes and your old style cologne, baby.
Yeah, it's membership only there, though. You know, there ain't no place where the young cats gonna come in there with their pants at. It ain't even happening. It's for the older cats.
Well, real quickly, man, I went to Denver, Colorado this weekend with my man Jason Perry. So I just want to give some plug up to my man Jason Perry. He doing this program. He started this extraordinarily awesome program. It's called Gatekeepers. Gatekeepers Advance. He did the session. The whole premise of it is it's a series or a toolkit, if you will, to get men, to empower men from healing from old past wounds, broken past relationships in their life, so they can live powerfully in the present.
I need
that. So, man, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I need that in my life.
Pastor Perry is probably one of the most profound people that a lot of people do not know. And I really want to say I really appreciate him. I went out and supported him. He's writing a series, a 3-book series. The first book that we went over this weekend in a conference was called Gatekeepers for Yourself. The second one is Gatekeepers for Your Family. And the third book is Gatekeepers for Your Community. So he will be in Illinois on July 22nd at Living Springs. So I'll be passing that information out periodically, every week until he actually come on as a guest right before July 22nd. And, it gives up things like punctuality, confidentiality, priority, participation, respect, availability. Those are standards to live by. So he preached those things. Sometimes as men, who have been brought up in broken homes, we can get lost with the simplicity of applying some of those standards. So he put a strong emphasis on that. So I want to give much love to him. Real quickly. How
you know? I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm your friend, man, for 30 years. Right?
Go ahead.
Colorado?
Oh, Denver, Colorado.
Colorado, right?
Yeah, I went to the Rocky Mountains. It was real nice, man.
Okay, I want to talk about no mountains right now.
It was surreal, man.
Went to the,
I'm talking about you go all the way up. You going all the way up the mountains, brother. What you finna say? Go to where?
I'm just saying, you went to Colorado, Denver.
Yeah,
and ain't think of me.
Yeah, I thought y'all called you.
No. I ain't talking about calling, bro. He bring me what they call them souvenir.
Yeah, I bought you a Rocky Mountain rock.
Oh, okay.
Bought you a rock, man. You can throw it real far.
Thank you.
We got a special guest in the building today, man. We got a special guest in the building today, man. J. Wesley Johnson. John Johnson.
What up, Shama?
Sound like a porno name. I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
What's
name? J. Wesley?
I want to be named John Johnson.
J. Wesley Johnson.
J. Wesley Johnson.
In the building, y'all. Got information coming to y'all. Y'all got to check him out.
Author. I call him the most interesting man in the world. The Black Edition. This is the Black Edition.
Why you say that?
This dude know everybody. He know people that I know. That, I be meeting different people, and he know them already. Oh, okay. I'm like, who is this John Johnson dude, man? Anyway, on the other side of the break, J. Wesley Johnson gonna come sit and bless the mic on Jaw Jackin. So we'll see you on the other side of the break. Jaw Jackin.
On Intellectual Radio, y'all. Check us out.
Welcome back to Joe Dragon with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. The call-in number is 708-223-8953. What's up, TC? Go ahead. Go ahead. Yo, Mike. Look.
You got me? Okay. I want to send out my condolences to Day.
Who?
His, Day, you know, Fred Day, from his mama passed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Friday, man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just want to okay, you got it. Yeah, I just want to just send my condolences out to the family. Day, Danielle, y'all be strong, big day. And I just want to send it out to him. That's all. Go ahead.
All right, let's bring this man in real quick. From the south suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, let's give it up for Jay Wesley Johnson in the building.
The third.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? How you doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good, Robert. Good. TC.
Long time no see, man.
I know, man. Been a while.
I know, man. Real quickly, man, I want you to tell everybody how we first met. We met through Jason Perry.
We did meet through Jason Perry. Matter of fact, last year, it feels like it's been like 7 or 8 years, you know, because it was 100 from the jump. And Jason Perry, who's a really good brother, he said, hey, man, you know, I understand what you're doing, you know, just in terms of trying to influence the youth in Chicago, your program. You know, I have a church right up the street, and I got a brother that runs our basketball program, man, real good brother. You know, why don't you give him a call? Matter of fact, let's try to go see him, you know. And so, you know, Jason called you. I've always known Jason to pick up the phone and get whoever he need, you know, within 1 or 2 rings, you know, anything, you know. And so he reached out to you. That's how we met. And then we were putting together this camp, you know, for the youth in Linwood. And you said, hey, man, you know, you just kind of open his arms and say, hey, whatever we can do, you know, if you want to, if you got a bus, we'll fill it up with kids, you know, from the church, from the neighborhood, and we'll get them on over, man. And it was like, you asked a minimum amount of questions and we got rolling, man. It seems like we've been talking on a brotherhood level, man, ever since, man. So it's I'm glad that Jason Perry opened that door, man.
That's what's. I want you to talk about. Hey, man, that's what's up, man. I want you to talk about the program the program that linked us. The program that linked us last year. It's the same program. So we're gonna transition right into that.
Sure.
The program
Yeah, so the program that linked us was Youth All-Star Weekend, which is a basketball weekend designed for the youth in Chicagoland area. Typically, we ran it over NBA All-Star Weekend, which is February of last year. And it composed of a camp for 2 days and a clinic for the youth. And so, like, one of the prizes that we had during that 4 day weekend was, hey, whoever wins this 3-point contest gets to sit down live with Clark Kellogg, you know, the analyst from, you know, CBS Sports, and him and 5 other NBA or pro players, and ask them whatever you want to ask. And these kids are 13, 14, 15 years old. And so for them to have that opportunity, that was like the initial part of the program. And then we got into some one-on-one skills, singing some mentorship conversations throughout the course of the camp portion of it. Then when Saturday night, you know, came, it was 3-on-3 live, kill your man, take him to the hole, and no more Mr. Nice Guys, let the best man win. And so that was the thing that, you know, that linked us. And in that, though, one of the things that stick out in my mind out of all those 300 pictures is when I looked over and saw you, Daniel Osley, what's the big man name from University of Illinois that played for the Milwaukee Bucks.
He played for DePaul, didn't he? Thomas Hamilton. Is it Thomas Hamilton?
Rashad Griffith. Yeah, so Rashad Griffith was there, you know, Rashad Griffith. You know, just a big guy playing in the NBA. Bone Collector was there, you know, one of the most vicious ball handlers in the world. And I looked over, and in the middle of a game, I see these, you know, 4 brothers huddle up praying together. You know, I was like, wow. And I started to tell the cameraman, go over there. I started to go over there myself. But sometimes you got to just let stuff be. And whatever spirit y'all was operating in, I wanted y'all to embrace that. Because if it was for me, I would have been there. But whatever was going on was for you all. And so when I saw that taking place, aside from everything else, it's always like, that's really what I remember, you know, because it's iron sharpening iron. Although we here, you know, to try to encourage, you know, these young kids to make better decisions, like, hey, we have to encourage one another, you know, and y'all like was sitting over there talking, expressing some of the things that, you know, y'all were going through, experiences where you're trying to go. And somebody idea was like, hey man, let's come together and pray, man. Yeah. And that was, to me, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. You always set the tone though, man. You set the tone, man, with your half court jumpers you be hitting.
They go in. They go in though. They go in.
Half court jumpers, like, I always hit these, man. He hadn't hit one yet. He ain't hit one though when I was there. Maybe at the gym when we went to the school.
Oh, that looked bad. But I was a product of my environment. You had some non-hoopers in there.
Hey, check this out, man. The moment, you know, I want to say this, to bring credibility to John for a minute. John used to play professional basketball. You know, so he played professional overseas. I'm going to say that part first. Mm-hmm. So I'll say this part, and then I'll let him get to the pro ball. So, you know, his face, you know, he's all excited. You know what I'm saying? He came to my gym, man, and he saw the talent that was in there, and his face just dropped. Like, man, these guys is garbage. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no coaching them up, man.
I didn't say that.
But anyway, go ahead.
No, but the energy was good. You know, the energy was. I never seen a situation that night when we walk. He's like, man, come to the gym anytime. I go to the gym on a Wednesday night. It's packed. Kids playing, running up and down. He's like, hey man, share a good word with the kids. I'm like, you know, who has the desire and passion to pursue this game and play at the professional level? You know, not one person raised their hand. They looking at one another like, nah, I'm just here because my mama dropped me off. You know, like not one kid out of 45 had a desire, and that's okay. At least they was honest with it. But I think it kind of caught both of us off guard because I had this spiel on what I was gonna say, the bullet points, and then after like, well, we're not really like any basketball players here. I don't know how to approach it. I didn't have a backup for like speaking to a group of guys in the gym that didn't really like what they was doing.
Right.
He tried to give me a heads up, man.
He had no bust.
I think I said, you know, just keep on doing what y'all doing, man. Just keep good energy, encourage one another to be better guys. You know, I tried to keep walking with the Lord. You know, it was, you know, just try to share a good word on whatever level, man. But just in terms of like linking them with the platform to pursue 3-on-3 basketball and advance. I mean, that's a tremendous platform, and they weren't interested in, and it's fine. Again, there's no knock on the young guys, and they'll go off to be great engineers, you know, technicians, and they might even, you know, be engineering your show 6 or 7 years. Anything can happen. It'll be outside the sport of basketball, but you know, so this year we kind of went a different. Well, hey, you can only give them what they giving you, right? That's what they gave to work with, and so we want to bless them in the direction that they want to focus on in life.
Right. Yeah, talk about your pro career, pro basketball. So this is just because this is the tool you use to start tapping into a bunch of markets.
It is
what you're doing. So I just want you to elaborate on that.
It is, man. And for me, although I went to school and graduated, I had 2 degrees. You know, studied arts, and basketball scholarship was open the doors for both of those things. And the reason I'm so passionate about the youth today is primarily because the doors that were open for me. Now, I was what you consider like a late bloomer. You know, it just wasn't one of the top guys in the neighborhood. And we had some studs. A lot of the guys I grew up ended up going pro in either football or basketball. But for me, it was just like sticking with the drive and the gift that I felt like I had or could develop over the time, given the right platform. And so one of the great stories I remember is my mother actually one day, because I didn't play, you know, like high school basketball, college basketball was a leap of faith or a hope, you know, in some sense. And I told my mother, like, I still feel like I can compete with this game. You know, I can go to somebody's school and play. I'm certain of it. These guys on my driveway every other day, you know, and they all state, and we're not too far apart. And so one day she went to Walmart, man, bought a 5-piece set of luggage, just set it in my bedroom, and it sat in there for 2 months. You know, one day I came back from this camp, and she said, I was like, hey, I got this letter from this school. It was in Iowa, you know, Division II. I was like, I must have did hide at that camp. I thought, I'm going. Yeah, this is my only opportunity. She said, well, go in there and pack your bags. You know, and so I went in there and packed my bags, and my father and my sister, they all drove me up, like almost like, you know, that first week in August. And so that didn't necessarily mean everything blossomed up for me. It was still just a tough hurdle on trying to establish myself as an athlete. and as a basketball player, and prove to not just myself, but I had to, prove to the coaches, hey man, I can fit on your roster and play. And so by my junior year in college, I had the opportunity to transfer, because my father was saying, hey son, I can pay for your first 2 years. Some of it, they give you a partial, scholarship, you got some Pell Grant, but after that, man, you got to figure it out. So that forced me to work on my game, even more so. And then so after that, I went to Trinity here in Illinois, and I felt like they would give me an opportunity to have the ball in my hands. And once that happened, I took full advantage of it. Then it became the next goal when I went down and played in Atlanta at Truman. And there was some guys, we were just playing some pickup ball over spring break, and it was one of the guys out we were working out with. And I remember getting back in the car like, hey, that guy that was guarding me? Am I tripping? Or did I kind of, how you think that went out there?
Yeah, to him.
Yeah. And so then my confidence went up, from a standpoint of if he play overseas, I think I can play overseas. And so then my focus became, okay, let me find some channels, avenues, whether it's hire an agent, go to all these camps, did all the above, and just kind of just slip through the cracks, man. And next thing you know, I'm being flown, and I'm grateful. I've traveled over, 4 out of the 7 continents, man, courtesy of somebody else, and came back home with a check, for being asked to put the ball in the basket, man. And so I went most of my adult life. I played professionally in Europe. It was Germany, then it was the Czech Republic, with a stint in China, Africa, Mexico. And so I've played in a lot of places. And even here stateside, there's a television show I did years ago when I first came out of college called Slam Ball. It was a TBN show, trampoline basketball. And it wasn't really professional basketball. We got paid, but I never had that idea of mine, running around jumping off some tramps. That's I wasn't acrobatic. I felt like I was a basketball player, so I just did that for a short period of time. But again, I wasn't okay with just freeing my body to be doing flips and stuff. And I'm more of a guy I'm in between the lines. Fundamentally sound, kind of like a Ben Gordon, Ron Artest type, just basics now. So that wasn't for me. But it still was basketball, an opportunity, to earn money as doing something that you're passionate about.
Yeah. So you sent me a link on this picture you had with you was a cameraman for Michael Jordan when you were young. I want you to talk about that. That was kind of exciting.
Yeah. No. The title of a blog. So I do a blog. Try to do one once a month when I'm not writing from a manuscript standpoint. But the title of it is Michael Jordan and Me, the skinny camera boy. And I was not a camera boy for Michael Jordan. Let me clarify. Okay. I was a camera boy for my next door neighbors, the guys across the street, the guys that I went to high school with. Back when we was in high school, and I wasn't on the team, I'm like, they're like, well, you want to be the camera guy? And so as I'm filming guys, I'm like, man, he shouldn't even be out there. The whole time I'm going all season watching guys that I know. And that's kind of what gave me silent confidence within myself, because I'm seeing guys up close, personal, and I'm studying their moves and their game. I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. So fast forward a few years after high school, after college, just being around Chicago playing. And again, I think, a lot of times you have to put the ball in the basket first. I did that, around the city, in a variety of ways, and I'm grateful for that. And one day a guy called me and invited me to play basketball at Michael Jordan's house, and so it was then. And the way it went about, can I tell the story real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so
this is about you, brother.
It's not about me. I can't get used to that. It's not about me.
It's Jaw Jacking today. You are our guest. It's about you. Go ahead.
Okay, so how the story came about, the invitation to Michael Jordan, is to this day, I don't know if I made the right decision or the wrong decision from a loyalty standpoint. If you call me, ask me to do something, I'm going to do it. My brother was he had got shot out of Bocce's in Matson, on the south side, just walking to his car. And he was in a hospital. His wife was at the time saying they were getting in the process of moving. He had called me and said, John, man, I need to rely on you, man. To handle this move for me. I trust you, with the wife, with my kids. And I got some other guys coming through, man, but I need to be able to count on you. I was like, man, I got you. It's nothing. So I played a little ball that morning. It was about 9 a.m. I was finished by 11. I go over his house. We setting up the move. We about, 80% of the way done. I get a phone call. My guy said, hey, man, you want to come hoop with us at 2? I was like, man, no, I think I'm good. I'm helping to move right now. I already played this morning, but I appreciate the call. I was like, man, we're going over Mike's house, man. Why don't you come with us? I was like, Mike who? He said, Mike Jordan. I was like, oh, Let me hit you back in 15 minutes. And so I called my guy and who was in the hospital with a bullet in his leg, you know, and I said, man, this move. I waited till we finished the move so I wouldn't be like making up no story like, yo, I did pack you up and move and load the truck when I hadn't actually done it. So I needed that 15 minutes to help him get ready to finish the move. So anyway, we get the move, the truck loaded, I called back and say, hey, I'm gonna go, man. You know, I'm gonna go. I got something else to finish up. And so we finished this load. I get to the other house where guys are unloading, make sure everything was under control. I talked to the next guy in line just in case the first man go down, you know. And so then I met my friends at the McDonald's in Highland Park where his Jordan's mansion is. And we all had to meet up in McDonald's because all five of the cars had to go in together, you know, like in sequence. And so we pull up, man. It's they punched, you know, the code, identify the vehicles. You got the big 23 on the gate, you know, and everything. And so we walk in, and guys that just started playing. It's during the NBA season, so a lot of guys were. It was no NBA players there, but there was football players there. You know, I think you know, guys like Richard Dent to play for the Bears. You know, some other NFL guys. His son was there. But I'm like, yo, Jordan ain't here. Beautiful place. I appreciate you being here. And we played 2 games, man. I'm like, man, I mean, this is cool, but I just kind of sacrificed a lot, you know, to be here, thinking that I was about to go hoop with Jordan. Man, 10 minutes later, Jordan walked in with Charles Oakley talking more garbage than anything I had ever read about in my life, man. As soon as he hit the gym with some new Jordans on you never seen before, still ain't seen the ones, you know, that he had on that time. But anyway, we ended up playing a couple of games, you know, and that's where my appreciation level went up for him, because he was actually like way better, you know, than even what you watch on TV, just from the standpoint that he talks so much trash. He go tell you exactly what he about to do. I mean, not for that possession. I'm talking about like 3-4 possessions down. He go predict what's going to happen, and he go do it and tell you about it along the way. And there's nothing you can do to stop it, you know? And so we were playing the 7 short games, 1s and 2s, and our team was down. And the ball came our way. We needed a 3. It was a critical one. I knocked it down. Jordan didn't get out in time, man. You know the rules. Hand down, man down. You know? What can I say? And so, but that wasn't for gain. That was just what, you know, tied it up. He came down next possession, hit a foul line jumper, set everybody else on the sidelines, talked to us about 5 minutes on, you know, why are we sitting on the sideline? But at the end of that, he invited me back the next day, man, and it just in a classic Michael Jordan fashion, man, when he did it, you know. So that was pretty much my experience with him. But the invitation that he gave me really sent a message to me, because he did it in such. Jordan got a way of just being classic, right? And so he did it in the way to say, "You can run out there. I know you come back tomorrow, right?" I'm like, "That was cool." Nah, I can't. He's like, "What, you gotta go to church? You gotta work, you know." I mean, I got some prior, you know, commitments with the lady, man. She had this dance thing playing for months. And so Sunday rolled around and I had this commitment. Remixed that a little bit. I was able to get back to it. And then I showed up at his house probably 45 minutes after they had already been playing. This time I'm cool with the code and everything on my own. I ride in and I walk in, sit on there's people playing on the court, and then it's the basket under there. Was like the only place to sit was next to Mike. So I'm like, man, I ain't trying to be one of them guys. I don't want to be in here like trying to take no pictures. Sometimes you just want to be a basketball player. So I didn't take any photos or anything, and I didn't necessarily want to sit next to him, but I needed to put my shoes on, my Jordans. I needed to lace those up, and so I sat next to him because that was the only place to sit. And he goes to look over me and say, "What happened? Mama let you out? What you had to tell her you was going over Mike's house?" And I'm like, I did have to tell her I was going over to Mike's house. Arrogant, you know. You know.
That's a good story.
Yeah, man. You know, and so and I had to leave early though. I had to make it back to that, you know, to that dance audition. And so they still playing. I go ask him. I didn't ask him. I asked his son. It was his 5 was it was Michael Jordan, Charles Oakley, Richard Dent, his son Jeffrey Jordan, and one of his teammates. And he was so hard on his son, man. Finished with the left. It was to the point to where like I backed up guarding this dude. We was guarding each other, but he was so, you know, so stern on the guy. So anyway, I left early, but I remember like one of the things that stuck out to me was when I went to the shower, I was like, yo, dude, this got the digital numbers on the shower, like for hot and cold. I hadn't seen that before. You know, so it was certain little things.
It was in real money.
Yeah, it was certain little things that Jordan had at his house. Like, okay, I mean, this is his airness. I embrace it. You know, so I remember that shower, you know, like that knob, like yesterday, because this is a long time ago, before like technology is what it is today. And so that was kind of like, you know, just hopping in the shower real quick, you know, like at this gym. Those little things, man, like it'll be the smallest thing sometimes. We can just take one little nugget and it'll encourage us like for the rest of our lives, you know? So that was my experience with Michael.
CC always asks Hooper's questions, so I know you got a Hooper's question for the Hooper.
Yeah, what you feel about that? First of all, Kobe and LeBron, who better?
I think you have to look at the era in which they played. You know, Kobe kind of was close to the Mike's era where they didn't have some of the technologies, you know, the drug enhancements for the body that they have today. You know, like things like the Normatec, the chirotherapy that can really rejuvenate your body in an accelerated amount of time gives today's athlete the advantage that Kobe's era, I don't think, did not have. With that being said, I think Kobe was able to dominate the game under any condition, and he did it like as a man straight up. You know, and I think his approach to the game, I respect, match with his skill set.
So Kobe.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I want to hear. So my cast out there is Kobe number 4 for Kobe, 0 for LeBron.
Man.
I have a close friend that actually played on the Cavs with LeBron, and he said something I was surprised to hear another guy say, you know, about another basketball player. And he didn't discredit LeBron, but he's like, you know, like, he's in practice with this man. You know, he's like, LeBron is just so big and strong and fast and extremely well built in the end. But I like really don't see anything special in his game. You know, now over the course of time, he's developed and added.
I feel the same way right now about him. Still the same. I don't see nothing.
I think we all feel the same. You know, but we can't deny, you know, the athletic impact.
He's a stat stuffer.
You can also not deny living up to the hype. Because like LeBron, I mean, you can talk about as an 18-year-old, they calling you king. Imagine it. I can't imagine my nickname was King. I'm acting up like, you know, you got to tell me to sit down. Yeah. You know, think about your name is King James.
Dude, your name is John Johnson. You don't need to be
the third, man. But you know, this guy got he got $100 million lifetime contract with Sprite right out of high school before he ever stepped foot on court with the National Basketball Association. And he has lived up to it. It has to do with everything. You know, look at, you know, Kwame Brown, you know, like the quarterback with the Broncos, that was a flop. Tebow, who's now playing baseball. You know, like a lot of guys get hype. Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football. So many athletes get the hype and don't respond to it the way that they are hyped. The majority of guys get the hype. LeBron has exceeded his hype level as being nicknamed King. That's very, very, very tough to do.
King, y'all. Do you call him King?
The man's name is King James.
No, his name LeBron James. Do you call him King James?
Well, I mean, that's
not what I asked you, brother. Do you call him King?
I call him King James, man.
I mean, on his Instagram page, I'm not promoting the guy, but on his Instagram, I mean, he called himself King James. You look him up online, it's King James. He ain't
king or nothing. His name is LeBron James.
If you Google King James, you go see the Bible, the King James version, and you go see a picture of this black man from Ohio. Google it.
Yeah, y'all live off Google. I don't care about no Google. He ain't no king, nothing to me. But anyway, go ahead.
I want you to talk about. I want you to put the dates out there for the tournament you got coming up this year.
Sure.
Because you know, we brought up the last year, but you brought it back again. So we want you to talk about the dates you got coming up now.
Sure. The tournament that's coming up, and the reason it was brought back again, and quite frankly, one of the things we haven't discussed. I stopped playing basketball after 4 years, and almost every single summer from June through August, I play a significant role off the court with giving other guys an opportunity. So that's been on the adult level, on the amateur level, and on the youth level, you know, for the last 10 years. So if I'm involved in that physical process or not, that's one of the things that I was passionate. Like, hey, if I ever can slip through the cracks and get an opportunity, I'm always going to find a way to say somebody else, hey, you have a chance. So I wanted to kind of establish that first. So like over the last several years, we had done, different tours, different tournaments, and every year, I just was in New York last weekend ago doing an event with Game 7 of the finals was in New York doing an event with the NBA, hosting with one of the Knicks players. And the tournament that we have now is is a USA basketball qualifier. 3-on-3 was just named an Olympic sport. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but it was something.
So it's an official Olympic sport.
It's
the first time in the history.
3-on-3 basketball, and the first time in history will be in Tokyo at the 2020 Olympics. So like that means, today's youth, the guy, over in Inglewood, Maywood, they have the choice to realize their dreams on the Olympic stage, just by, going and competing in a local tournament. Yeah.
No professionals in that 3-on-3 can be like the dudes in the hood can't go and say LeBron and Kyrie and KD.
No, mainly because the 5-on-5 will still be there. They'll still have, they'll be playing against the national teams for the 5-on-5 that's always been there for years.
But the guys who's now in the Olympic team, they can actually participate in 3-on-3.
Right. So for example, this event that's coming up next Saturday, July 1st at Ho Chunk in Linwood, the Southland Center, the guys that win there, they'll still go down and train at the same places that Kyrie Irving and LeBron them train at before they leave the U.S. to go overseas to the Olympics. And so that's one of the things that the team did last year. In fact, there was a guy, Malik Tidwell, who I just had breakfast with him and his mom today. That's a junior at Marian Catholic. He'll be coming in looking to return after they lost a significant player, Chase Adams. And 2 years ago, I think Ulyss from Marian Catholic got drafted by the Suns after spending a short stint at Kentucky. There's another kid, Marquise Kennedy from his high school is Crete Monique, who exploded, his sophomore year. So these kids are competing, but I think that gave them on their high school teams, and then they won this little tournament, this 3-on-3, which is very intimate. It's not, I do it, hosted myself with a couple other local guys here out of Chicago. Although it's a USA basketball sanctioned event, it's not something that you'll see like Nike put on the big festivals, and those things are good, and I participate in those too. But this is more so for the neighborhood guys, by the neighborhood guys with the world stage opportunity. And so those guys that won here in Linwood last year in 2016 advanced and went all expenses paid to Colorado Springs. They spent the night in Denver, where you just came back from, and then they drove up. Their parents came too. They were at the U.S. Olympic training, so they slept in the same beds that Kyrie Irving don't sleep on. The dormitories in campus, they get their food, they get their meals. USA Basketball takes care of everything. They get the gear, all the clothes, they get their clothes washed. Malik was talking. He's like, "Hey man, they wash my clothes." When you're 15 and you wake up in the morning and you got like USA Basketball clothes, socks, shorts hanging on your door, and your mama didn't do it, you gonna remember that, right? And so that's part of the experience that these kids have, and the men have the same exact opportunity, only they play for money. So we did the youth division, which will be, Saturday, July 1st as well from 9 to noon. And at the same time on one of the other courts, the men 18 and over, they'll compete in the adult over 18 division. And at the end of that, it's not, they walk away like with $20,000,
What do you think about the big three that Ice Cube started with the basketball 3-on-3? What do you think about that? You looked into that, you think it's going to be a gimmick, or you think it's actually going to be a thing?
It needed to happen. It needed to happen. It was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. Because again, like the 3-on-3 basketball, I was fortunate to be on the front end of it, of seeing all this stuff, happen. One of my, associates that we communicate on a lot of these basketball events are like pretty informed on the things that are rolling out. The same thing with so several outlets. Like, so Ice Cube did that. Mountain Dew rolled out some grassroots events on 3-on-3 basketball. And so it's been a whole movement. This movement in 2017, this movement of 3-on-3 basketball actually started in like 2014. So when I say it needed to happen, it was somebody was going to do it. Ice Cube is a smart businessman. It's a league that's owned by the players, for the players. So for example, Chauncey Billups has a team, which, he's a retired NBA player, got back in shape. He has, equity in his club with his boys playing, and they're making it a festival event. It's I think it's a wonderful thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So plug it real quick. Plug it. If you got a team out there and you want them to participate, how do they do it? How much will it cost them? Or is that important to talk about right now?
You go to, and that's fine. You go to basketballfest.us. You can sign up as an individual or as a team. So like if it's something that you want to participate in, you would just register as a player. If you might not have 3 other guys that you feel like you can gel with, there'll be drills and exercises that morning, and they'll be placed on the team. And so basketballfest.us is the website to go on and register. It's $35 per person. There are scholarships available for it as well, and that'll be on the website if kids are out there, because everybody's, doesn't have $35, or some are more fortunate than the other want to compete. And so there's different scholarships available as well. The main thing is for people to show up, and participate. It's Saturday, July 1st at Ho Chunk in Linwood. It'll go from 9 to noon. There's also one of the things we're incorporating, Bob, is the a women's dance cheer competition this year, which we didn't have last year. And that's mainly because it's something for everybody. It's something for everybody. The basketball is a platform, and it's used to provide entertainment, fitness, and fun, in everybody's life. So that's one of the reasons that we incorporated with, joined with Asia Streets and doing dance cheer as well. She's part of the Mean Streets on the cheer division side of things. So that'll be taking place as well as all ages. There's one of the things that people enjoyed last year was the skills challenge, because you didn't have to play in the tournament to play in the skills challenge. You can just sign up and join the 3-point contest and win a PlayStation from Best Buy. Like me and you, in fact, I might get in it. I might say, hey, hold this down for 10 minutes. I still feel like I can hit about 6 in a row. And then go back and sit behind the table. So it'll be a festival weekend. It's July 4th weekend on July 1st, but Saturday morning. So you'll still be out of there by noon, 1 o'clock. Go home, get you some ribs, or get on the grill, and still caring about your day.
Well, Joe Jack will be there. We will be there. We definitely will be there. As always, we always support you, man.
I'll be interested to see what group you have with you.
Hey, this year. I might have 6 jumpers in a row, though. Hey, see, I'm one of them now.
Okay.
You talking about my kids. You ain't talking about the one who run it.
Okay.
Well, why you ain't teach your kids to jump?
Hey, look, man, they don't listen.
Oh, okay.
they chest
They didn't want to. They weren't interested in learning. They really didn't want to learn.
Tracy, what up, everybody? Checking this out.
One more time, give a plug it one more time so everybody can know exactly where to go to the website and everything.
So sure, it's basketballfest.us. It's the USA Basketball 3-on-3 Olympic qualifier, Saturday, July 1st in the South Suburbs of Chicago at Ho Chunk Nation, Linwood at the Southland Center.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's $35 per person or $140 per team. You can register as an individual or as a team. And there's also information on how to get a scholarship for going to the tournament.
Well, I hope somebody support this beautiful opportunity you're bringing to the Chicagoland area.
DJ all the hoopers out there, y'all gotta check him out now.
We really appreciate this, man.
Jake,
want to transition a little bit and talk about your book in the last segment of the show. First of all, I would like to say condolences to you. You had a death in your family, which almost made this interview impossible.
Yeah. So
I really appreciate you. I don't know what circumstances changed that allowed you to do this interview, but I want to say condolences out to your family.
Thank you.
Your parents who lost. I think you lost your grandparent.
I lost my grandmother. Yeah, Carrie Johnson, 93 years old.
Okay, to the Johnson family, we really send our condolences out to you.
Thank
you. Your family, man, and
appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you still making the interview. I want to talk about your book. We'll talk about your book, man.
Okay.
The Drunk Dial. We want to talk about your book in this regard. You have a second one coming up. So in order for us to understand what's going on in the second one, we're gonna filter through the first one a little bit.
Makes sense. That
makes sense.
Let's do it.
So the Drunken Dial. So you spent years as insurance.
Yes.
What in insurance, right?
Correct.
Talk about what you
11
do in
years.
Insurance.
Sure. So everything that I spend my time on, 98% of the things I spend my time on, all the things that I'm passionate about, that I've been trained and skilled in, and I do the same things over and over. I very seldom change lanes. And so even writing the book, I went to school for art, so I'm very in tune with the arts, like the literary community, design, painting, drawing, sculpture. I actually even took class in the dark room right on the cusp of the digital era. So I always wanted to write a book, but before that, I got into the insurance industry 10 years ago with one of our basketball team sponsors for I had a team that I was managing called Colorado Crossover, which is a minor league professional basketball team. And one of the sponsors that we had was American Family Insurance. And so after our second season, they were kind of recruiting heavily. And it was kind of didn't really pick up to what they're doing until like the second year. And so I opened a scratch office in Denver and still did our basketball team at the same time. And this was 10 years ago. And so, and both of them were successful. Like our, the insurance office I was awarded like as a number 1 variable sales producer in the country. Not at first it was like a letter from the state of Colorado, and then it was like, hey, this is from number 1 in the country out of 18 operating states. And at the same time, like the general manager of our basketball team has sent a letter saying you guys have the most proficient operating budget in the league. So both of them were successful. And again, so fast forward 10 years later, I'm still in those lanes. We just got to talking about basketball, and from an insurance standpoint, the book came about from one of my clients, actually. So like the insurance operations that I'm involved in, we're licensed in 8 states, and I pretty much oversee a boutique agency, as full time. That's what I've done professionally. These other things, again, we talk about basketball being a summer adjective, in writing, just being a passion. Everybody has a hobby. I just try to really turn my hobbies into crafts and really take them to the next level. And so sticking with the insurance standpoint, we've had a very niche audience of high profile individuals that we insure the risk of, from NBA players, CEOs, business owners, and a lot of athletes, from NFL, WNBA, MLB. That's some specialty risk. And so a lot of times you won't even hear me talk about insurance because it's relative to our niche audience, our niche market of clients that we service. And so one day I got a phone call from a client that said, hey man, I got a situation here, where he has been cited for driving under the influence. And he said, what do you think I should do? I said, I can't really advise, what you're offering, what you're asking me. However, I had another client that just went through this 3 months ago, and here's what they did. And so he shared the rest of his situation with me and said, man, I appreciate you helping me out. By the way, before I called you, I had actually looked this up on my own, and I didn't see nothing. I know you always been aspiring to write. You might want to check that out. I think it's a good opportunity for you, to do a book on. I was like, all right, thanks, appreciate it. And moved on. And probably about 4 months later, he called me again, the same guy. He said, now we got opportunity to take this thing to trial and get the whole thing dismissed. What do you think I should do? Man, I can't really advise you on that. You might want to consult an attorney. However, from an insurance standpoint, your insurance is already going to go up. You already been assessed your points, your 4 points on your MVR. The other part of it is criminal. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. I know you have a family at home and you're a professional. If you go to trial and you lose, you could go to jail. And so you have to kind of weigh out what you want to do there. And so he proceeded to to hire an attorney. He paid an additional $1,500 on his own, and then he called back after trial, said, man, I could have kept the $1,500, but I still want to circle back on you and let you know that you really had an impact. Not that nothing changed, but I felt better, just talking to you about it. And I was serious, when I said, you should do a book on it. And so after that second call, I researched it, went and kind of just typed it in, typed on something like, that's odd. I don't see anything out there on this. And a couple of resources that were there were from attorneys. It was nothing that spoke to a regular person in layman's terms on here's what to do. So I spent some time just kind of researching the subject matter loosely based on my own experiences, observations of others. And then I went back and actually looked at some old college papers that I had written in some of my writing classes and read what my teachers thought about me when I was in college as a student. And I was looking at the comments, and I'm a guy that keeps everything. I still got my high school report on here's how you decide what you should major in, So when I went back and read some of those comments, I was like, man, this is interesting. Because, everybody wants to write. Everybody has the desire to write a book. Most people do. I'm sure you got TC. You might got a couple of archives or something you want to release at some point. And then an author friend of mine told me, John, you realize 98% of books don't ever get published. And I already said, I'm being at 2%, Yeah. And so when I went back and got the confidence from looking at my notes, because it said things, the teacher would say things like from an aesthetics class at Trinity, John, very provocative approach to this. We should discuss this more. but it wasn't a bad thing. I got an A on it, you know. But I'm like, he's called it like a provocative approach, you know. That's like, you know. So, but like when I went back and read some comments from years and years ago, I kind of took a deep breath and I said, okay, you know, like you can do this. And you know, I thank God for everything, because had I not been in Gary playing ball on a Saturday morning and ruptured my Achilles, you know, I never would have been in a position to be sitting down at home on the couch to be able to flush out a draft, you know. And so had I just been going about my daily life, I don't think that it would have happened this early.
I want you to get to something. I want to put TC on the hot seat real quick.
Okay.
He did me like this when I went to his book signing. Okay. Real quick, TC. We got about 5 minutes, so we got to bang this out real quick.
Let's do it.
If you're willing to be, you on the hot seat, T.
I'm on there.
Okay. So in chapter 5, there's a chapter called "Why Me." Okay. And it's the idea of, you know, why do good things happen to bad people, and why do all these you know, different things happen. And so in researching the book over the course of those months, I traveled, you know, the globe, took some time off work, and I interviewed over 100 people, you know, men and women, single, married, random, and asked them all the exact same 10 questions. And so we developed this catalog of tips from those interviews called the Drunk Dials 100. I selected 10 people, asked them all the same exact 10 questions, and 10 by 10 is 100. So chapter 5 and Why Me, you'll see this catalog of tips called the Drunk Dials 100. You seem like you don't want me to ask you.
I'm ready. I don't know. Okay. I know TC's gonna be ready.
All right.
That one here is.
So how many times?
I got a lot of people drinking out here, so y'all listen to this. My people drinking dry. Listen to this, y'all.
You got to be honest, man.
How many times would you say you've had something to drink, then drove?
How many times?
Since you've been drinking. Yes. How many times have you had something to drink and then drove?
Can't count the time, but it's like 98% of the time.
98% of the time.
Yeah.
Are you a regular drinker? Okay.
Well, I'm not no more like I used to be, but yeah, I used to always.
So that's question one. And fact is, most adults over the age of 21 have had something to drink, then drove over 80 times.
Yeah.
Those are the numbers. So that's question one.
Okay.
The question two is, did you really think about how much you had to drink before you drove?
Yeah, I feel it. I'll be thinking, if I feel it too strong, then I don't know, man, you know, because I used to get it in.
Get it in.
And I drive, you know, my test was I get in there and I'll put the air on or the heat on. If I could still function, I'm pulling off.
Okay, so with that being said, question 3 is, did that affect your decision to drive?
No. If I know if I couldn't, I wouldn't. But I got it.
Okay.
Can't do it.
And for the sake of time, we're not going to do 10. I'm just we'll do 5. And so question 4, have you ever been pulled over after drinking?
Yeah. I have.
The 5th question, and I'll let you just take your time on this. And how did getting pulled over after drinking play out for you?
Well, I never got DUI, so I played it off, you know. So I haven't got DUI before ever. I'll just be thankful.
When you say you played it off, just give us a little bit of detail on what happened from the time you got pulled over to when the officer walked up to the car. Like you played it off, like, so. Did he ask questions?
Yeah, he asked me.
Elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, he asked me. You know, you were swerving back there, and I'm like, no, you know. I didn't.
That wasn't me. Who was swerving?
Nah, he said, your eyes already what you been doing, you know. Yeah, man, I had to get out of work, man. I work late, you know. That's what I told him, you know. He's like, well, let me see your license, insurance, and all that. He ran it, and everybody, it was legit. So he's like, you ain't in this car? I know I didn't, because I already threw the bottle away before I was driving, so it wasn't nothing in the car, you know. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted to get up anyway because how I was feeling. So that was my way. By him searching that car, he let me get my wits about myself. By him searching my car, having me standing over there, you know, I was able to brace myself and get, you know, try to snap back into it. And I was able to snap back into it. You know, he's like, you be careful, man. You know, you're going to get some rest. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So, but other times, you know, they just ask you, but you try to prepare yourself for that. Usually, most people who drink that know they finna go drink, they prepare themselves.
Yeah.
Try to.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing those, TC. And so like I just, you know, asked 5 there, but those are 5 out of the 10. And what the studies show in the end that out of those 100 people, when we selected the 10 interviews, 5 out of 10 had been cited for driving under the influence. So then you got to say that research suggests that if you drink and drive, there's a 50-50 chance that at some point you will get caught. Right. And so that's what kind of concluded from that particular section of the book.
Yeah,
that's deep.
Yeah. You know what's funny? When we went to the book reading, I went to the book reading, and he had it at this
it was at the Radisson Hotel, in Maryville, Indiana.
And when I got there, hey, what's up, John? Man, how you doing? You know, and the first thing I got was some wine. I was like, give me a double shot of wine. You know, I was up there talking, and then I come in here and see what this book about called The Drunk Dial, and I was like, man, this dude got to be kidding me, man. You know, so I went up there like you did and answered those questions in front of them. So I ain't just put you on the spot on Jaw.
Oh, you know, we did anyway. We'll go up there.
We went up there because I mean it's the truth.
I don't feel my truth.
Anyway, when the second book's supposed to be coming out on The Drunk Dial?
So the second edition is actually releasing this summer, and it'll be translated into Spanish. You know, so it could be out, you know, as early as August. It'll come out in Spanish. Internationally abroad, you know, in markets as Spain and Dominican Republic, and then the English edition will come out somewhere closer to the holidays here in the U.S.
One quick question I want to ask you, Brett, about this book, and you can be just brief as possible. We got that much time, but exactly if you can, what's this book basically telling the people? Because we want people to support it, so we didn't get a chance really to break down into the book. So
sure,
you can break it down quick as possible.
No, I appreciate that question. Yeah. The book is actually for everybody. You know, most of the readers were actually non-drinkers, and I'm surprised by that from people that have bought the book at these events. So the whole premise is an insurance professional's perspective on drinking and driving. You know, having insured drivers behind the wheel for the last 10 years. So the whole premise of The Drunk Dial is reading this book could save you over $16,000 or more, even your life, when you factor inflation, increased insurance, court costs, time off work, increased attorney fees, etc.
That's what's up.
So do you drink?
Occasionally, yeah, I do, and and that's a good question.
Do you drive home?
No, in fact, I don't drive. In fact, in the second edition, I make several points in there where I think today's society is set up that the black man should not drive. Period.
I agree with that.
Really? Wow.
Period. That's nice. Yes, that'll be outlined in the second edition because we have things available to us, you know, like private transportation, that makes it. You don't have to do that. You just don't. You can make alternative decisions, and you save money if you're not responsible for commuting a family back and forth to and from on a regular basis. It's actually cheaper to not own a car and take private transportation than it is to own a car. And you know, we have the research and data that kind of supports that. So some of those things are what will be in the second edition.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to Joe Jackson with Bob and TC with our special guest J. Wesley Johnson in the building.
Thanks for having me.
Author of The Drunk Dial. One more time, real quick. Plug yourself for the 3-on-3, real quick. 3-on-3 tournament.
Saturday, July 1st, basketballfest.us. Be there. Anybody can come. Make some baskets.
Intellectual Radio, Joe Jackson. Deuces.
My man, Paul.